Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to the stream. I figured I would get started since we got good people talking in the stream chat. And some interesting discussion actually coming up that I'd like to actually maybe open up to everyone watching here. We got over 100 people and growing on the stream here. Welcome everyone. Today is Saturday the 25th of September 2021. Hope that you guys are ready for a full day of streaming goodness. Alright, today we're doing Lost Judgment paired with Hades. We'll talk about all that in a moment. But I feel like I should take this opportunity, since it is a topic of discussion right now in the stream chat, to try to figure something out. So for those of you who are here right now, and of course I know some of you are watching on demand on YouTube as well, and for those of you who are listening in that regard, by all means, if you want to get back to me and answer on this topic, please do. So some people have been saying, in particular, one of my moderators, okay, has said that ever since I made the jump from Twitch to YouTube, and I started streaming full-time on YouTube, that for some reason, my streams don't work properly for them. That the streams basically keep buffering endlessly, and it doesn't matter if you're watching at full quality, which is 1080p 60 frames, or if you lower the quality to one of the lower adjusted ones, that basically the stream will just not play smoothly. It just keeps buffering and buffering and buffering. Now, I have not heard this from many people. In fact, it is my moderator here who is the person who has mostly mentioned this to me. Outside of that, maybe I've heard this from one or two other people. Okay? The thing is, most people actually tell me the complete and polar opposite. They tell me, since I moved from Twitch to YouTube, they're actually able to watch it better because Twitch had higher bandwidth requirements. To watch a live stream on Twitch, it takes more internet bandwidth than it does to watch a live stream on YouTube. And likely that's because YouTube is funded by Google, and Google has such a crazy infrastructure in place for video sharing and the like that they're probably able to pump out a more compressed stream that looks great but is just less bandwidth, I would assume. So the weird thing to me is that also, but this is Madara as God who we're talking about. My longtime moderator here, says that they're able to watch other people's streams. So, for example, anyone else, streaming, that there's no problem watching other people, even up to 4K quality. They can watch high quality video everywhere else, but for some odd reason, it's just, my stream. Now, the only thing that I can think of, I sit here trying to brainstorm, and certainly I'm no technical freaking wizard. I'm just getting by barely with the settings and things that I have. But what I would think is something to do with my streaming setup is not as streamlined as others. And what I mean by that is I don't know, me when I stream, I'm streaming at a very high bit rate, just so you guys know. I can't remember exactly the bitrate I'm streaming at. I want to argue it's between 8,000 and 10,000 kilobits per second, which is very high. But the reason I do that is so that I can give you the smoothest quality stream that I can with the setup that I have. If I were to lower the bitrate, the stream would get more pixelated. It would actually look kind of blurry during action scenes, and it would chop up when it comes to the frame rate. Now, I know for a fact that I'm not silky smooth 60 frames as it is. My streams dip below 60 frequently. They usually go between 30 and 60 because of the limitations of my computer and everything. I'm not using new equipment. This is very, very old equipment. This is a PC I've been using for 7+ years, right? Every day, all day. The only thing I can think of is that these other streamers, okay, are basically using a setup that I'm not. I'm using a very basic setup. Whatever the base capturing capability is in OBS to capture from my capture device is what I'm using. I'm not using any third-party programs. I'm not compressing the video. This is all raw stuff going out to you guys, and always has been. I don't have that know-how to figure out how to do it. I remember years ago people said, you should be using shadow play. I was like, shadow play? I don't even know how to do that. And then some people kind of walked me through it. And when I tried to use shadow play, the file size of the videos that I was recording tripled. No exaggeration. It was like, it went from 5 gigs of video to 15, 20 gigs of video. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm never going to be able to store this stuff. So I never really used shadow play or any other kind of compression. I always just did the raw video. Okay. Now I don't know if things likely have changed many times over the years. You know what I mean? Like this computer is as it is. I'll be honest with you guys. This computer I'm using right now is the best computer I've ever owned in my life. It's the most consistent computer I've ever owned in my life because it never really has an issue. The one issue, okay, the one issue I'm getting ever is that the microphone drops out every once in a while. And the only way to fix it is to completely restart OBS. And when I restart OBS, the mic works again. I assume that's some kind of a driver issue with the microphone and Windows. And so just refreshing OBS refreshes the mic driver and then boom, it works again. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing. But, you know, outside of that, I don't have issues with this PC, which is why I don't mess with it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of changing things in your setup if your setup consistently works? Now, obviously, what I would like to do is update this and get a new PC and everything. And I've had, you know, discussions about that behind the scenes with a few people who want to help me with that. And the discussion is basically thus, it's definitely doable, but I'm not going to do it till next year. Because now we're heading into the busiest gaming season of the year. I'm going to be here every day streaming hot new releases, right? I need to have dependable working equipment that I know is going to be working, you know, all the time. I can't do that if I'm in a situation where I have a computer that's new, a setup that's new, I don't really know how to do stuff with it. If there's technical difficulties, I'm not going to know how to fix them. That's not good. I need to be here consistently in the next several months, right? October, November, December are the busiest gaming months of the year, arguably. So I need to have a working setup. I can't have a risk of, I'm going to change all my setup now, and now it all screws up, right? Because listen, of course my setup's outdated. I'm running an old version of Windows. I don't even know what version it is. You know, I have equipment that I could be using and I can't. Like I have a Stream Deck that someone donated. I can't use it because my version of Windows isn't updated enough. But I'm not doing that. Why on earth would I update everything in my setup when it works fine as it is, right? There's no reason to update and then have it be like, oh, well, you're running on outdated hardware. If you updated everything, you screwed it all up, right? So that's why I'm not touching it. I'm going to leave this as is until I do a big upgrade and I get a new PC. And by the way, you know, that's the discussions. People say, well, why don't you get a new webcam and a new green screen and everything and new lighting? I would consider that once everything's upgraded. And there's no reason to do it piecemeal, piece by piece, when it's not going to really improve anything until the main core central piece of the whole streaming setup, the PC, is incredibly outdated. Okay? So, I'm not sure what would cause my stream to have an issue for someone. Because here's the thing, is someone made a great point in the chat, and I actually kind of have to agree with this. Alright? What you have to understand is it doesn't even matter what the quality I'm doing or the encoding I'm doing. Whatever I'm sending to YouTube, YouTube grabs that raw video. YouTube encodes it themselves. And then YouTube puts out my stream. When you're watching this live stream, this is not my stream anymore. This has been run through YouTube, and YouTube has on the fly encoded it to their standards, and then they're putting out the stream, basically a restream, right? So I don't know how it could have anything to do with my setup or the way that I capture or broadcast, because literally when you watch my stream, you're watching the same as every other YouTube streamer. It's all the same, you see? I don't know. I really wish I had an answer. If since I've moved from Twitch to YouTube, if you have been having issues and you can't figure them out, I would love to hear from you. Maybe there's a commonality between the people who are having this issue that we can put our heads together and try to figure it out. Because like I said, the vast majority of people who have responded have said, it's better. We like the fact that on YouTube we have all these different quality options we could switch between. It uses less bandwidth on YouTube. Like, there's a lot of benefits on you. One of the benefits people actually tell me about, one of the benefits that people tell me about, okay, is that I guess on YouTube, when I'm streaming, you have the ability to fast forward around the video, like the stream itself, that on Twitch you couldn't. On Twitch you can only watch what's live at that very moment. But let's say, for example, right now someone tuned into the stream, they're like, oh crap, I'm 10 minutes late. They could go back 10 minutes on the stream and watch back what they missed, and then maybe when I go on break, they could skip the break and then get caught up, you see? So I'm not sure. I don't know. Madara, I really wish I could help you. It's so odd. Even right now, people in the stream chat are like, no, we don't have this problem. This is weird. We don't know what it could be. I think it's an ongoing air of mystery here. I just, I really don't know. Your boy Lem says I actually do that all the time. Skip through the video, skip around the video. That's cool. That's a cool feature. I like that. I like that people have the ability to do that. So, by the way, interesting question for everyone too, since I got all of your attention before we get to stuff that I'm more just talking to you rather than with you. When you guys are watching my streams on YouTube, are you getting advertisements on the streams, and how does it work? Like, does it play an ad as soon as you play the stream and I go live? Does it play an ad if you tune in late and then it plays first? Does it ever interrupt the stream with an ad? You know what I mean? Like, you're watching, all of a sudden an ad obtrusively interrupts the stream for you and you have to watch the ad to keep going. I'm just curious because I have no idea how ads work on live streams. I never knew. They're enabled, but I don't know how to control them or how the hell that would work. Former Cloud said, yes, it plays 2 ads. Miles Julian Moran says, I get 1 ad when I first click on the stream. Okay. Madara's got us never once gotten an ad. Never seen an ad, says Neon Zombie. Daggy Spurs says, well, I have no ads, but I have Premium. They used to give a free membership every month, but not anymore. There you go. I mean, that makes sense. You have YouTube Premium, you're paying not to see ads. I mean, that's a no-brainer. What's not weird to me is hearing people are saying they don't see any ads. That doesn't surprise me. Because YouTube, there's 2 things on YouTube that would make that happen. Well, there's actually 3 things. First of all, if you have an ad blocker, duh. If you have an ad blocker in place, you're not going to see ads. That's just a commonplace thing. Number 2, if you are in a region where there just are no ads, like, for example, if you're watching a YouTube video from an American streamer and the only ads available are for a business that only exists in the United States, if you're outside the United States, you're not going to see that ad. You see, what's the point? Why would they advertise to a business you can't even do anything with? You see? So there you go. The other thing is, sometimes YouTube just doesn't have ads. Now, we're actually heading into the busiest time of the year for YouTube. We're about to head into the holiday season. Typically, it starts around October-ish. October, November, December, ads are out the ass. Everyone sees increased ad revenue on YouTube October, November, and December. It's just a natural occurrence on YouTube. As long as you're putting out content, you're probably going to make more money because the ads are way increased during the holiday season. Excuse me. So, sometimes of the year, there's like nothing. And it's actually surprising because sometimes it'll be earlier on in the year when there's a lot of games out. Like I'm talking February, March, April. Those are the earlier months of the year when sometimes there's a big wave of video games and there's a lot of content going out. But you can't make money on ads because there's no ads to go around on YouTube. You're watching a brand new playthrough that has thousands and thousands of views and there's no ads playing on it because there's no ads to divvy out. So, someone just said, I apologize because your name scrolled off the screen just as I was about to start reading your comment. So the only time they ever see an ad on a stream is when they click on the stream the very first time. It'll play an ad, but it'll never intrude upon the stream after that. You see, that's weird to me. Because YouTube supposedly treats streams just like videos. I mean, the settings are pretty much identical when you're setting up a stream to when you're setting up an on-demand video. And I know for a fact that with an on-demand video, YouTube will actually insert advertisements every certain amount of minutes. And it's automatic, like the user, like me, the uploader, doesn't control that at all. YouTube just decides what it wants to do. I have the ability after the fact if I want to, say, move those ads or even take them out or reduce them. But YouTube does whatever it wants. They took away our ability to control ads a while ago. I think it was about 2 months ago. YouTube just started monetizing everything. So even if there's a video that I decide I don't want to monetize, YouTube would monetize it anyway, and they make money off of it. Yeah, there's literally no way to demonetize a video yourself anymore. YouTube claims every video that you don't monetize and puts their own ads on it. Yeah, so 672 says, that's weird. Every time you go to break, an ad plays. Okay, that should happen. When I go on break, there's a button that says you can insert a commercial break on your stream, and I click it. Now, some people are saying they never see it. You see? What that makes me feel is that in their country, there's just no ads. There's nothing to go around. if you're in the United States or Canada, or maybe even, you know, Europe, likely you will see an ad if I take an ad break like that. But it depends, I guess. Really, it depends. See? Senator Snow says, no, I actually never see ads when you go on break. I guarantee you it's regional. It's interesting to talk about this stuff because I don't really see that perspective of you guys. I don't get to know what's going on your end, you know. Certainly I wouldn't want you guys watching a live stream and be completely inundated with ads. Like, that would be terrible. That's why I literally take one ad break during my major stream of the day. That's it. I don't take any other ad breaks on purpose because I don't want you guys watching an insane amount of ads during a live stream. I feel like that's ridiculously intrusive, and I don't want that to hinder our content. I don't even do an ad break at all on the late streams. It's only 2 hours long. I don't even run an ad. I just let it do whatever. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. So anyway, Madara, I wish we could help you. I wish we could figure out what in the holy hell is going on. That for some reason you're having issues, you know, watching the streams. I really wish we had a solution. I don't know what it would be because I don't know what the hell's going on, you know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it just doesn't seem like we have any answers. Just kind of shrug and say, I'm sorry, you know, if anyone else has these ongoing issues, you're trying to watch my streams and it's just constantly buffering and won't stop, by all means, let me know, and maybe if we can put our heads together, like I said, and figure out a commonality even between Madara and the other people who this is happening. Holy crap. Yeah, Madara just said if anyone has any information on this, you could DM him, because Madara has always been a great moderator, an active moderator on my streams. But since I moved to YouTube about 4 months ago, it's very hard for him to moderate because the stream just sits there and buffers. What's he going to do? Not watch the stream, just sit here and look at the chat? That's not fair to him. He wants to enjoy the streams like everybody else, right? I'm not sure what the heck could be causing it. Okay. Anyway, I'm glad that we talked about it. It was about a 15-minute discussion, guys. Let's now talk about the schedule. Let's talk about what's going on this week, okay? First of all, up front, I'm going to say something. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your positivity and for chilling with me every day and having a good time with games, which is all this has ever been about. And I really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to have any discussion of drama on my streams. All right? Just being honest here. I don't want it derailing the streams. I don't want people coming in here saying, oh, let's talk about this stuff from outside the stream that's completely bullshit. It has nothing to do with your gaming. No. We're not going to have it. It's always been against the rules, and that's not going to change. So, we're here to have a chill time with games today. Have a good, fun time. If you want to talk about gaming news, you want to talk about other things gaming related, great. If you want to come in here and completely derail and try to cause problems with drama, no. Okay? Sound good? Okay. Let's all have a good, relaxing stream today and not worry about drama shit. Fair enough? Okay, I hope so. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's talk, shall we? What's coming up this week? I'll tell you what's coming up this week. Fun stuff. Today, it's the continuation of Lost Judgment, okay? 3 to 4 hours of gaming fun. Currently, we're only, I believe, in Chapter 3. Are we in Chapter 2 or 3? I don't even remember. I'm playing, the thing is now we're in the time of year I'm juggling a lot of games. When this happens, it's actually very tough for me to remember where I am and what's going on in each game. I know for a fact we're investigating bullying at a high school, and we're investigating a murder that happened recently, and a cop who is basically claiming that his son was bullied by this person, and then this person got killed, I guess, in retaliation for his son being bullied and committing suicide years earlier. And so we're doing this big investigation at a high school to try to figure out how this high school ties into all of it. And it's getting pretty convoluted. Are you surprised that the plotline of Lost Judgment is convoluted after the first game? I can't believe you would be. Like, that's pretty much par for the course for this series. So, you know, I'm excited to continue with this. Okay? And, I hope that you guys are ready for some murder mystery fun. All right? It should be fun. Now, of course, once we leave this high school, I get the feeling we're going to be exploring the open world, which could be exciting. Maybe there'll be side content. I'm not sure. But I am excited for the game to continue on here and have a good time with it. And be relaxed as well. This game, there's a lot of stuff going on in it that's fun and interesting and unique. and I'm excited, obviously, to see how it's all going to go. And I want to thank everyone who's going to be here to chill with me. Because here's the thing about a game like this. This is not necessarily a game that appeals to the mainstream. This is not a game that we're going to get, oh my god, big numbers for big AAA release kind of viewership or following. We're just not. I never had that for a Yakuza game. I've never had that for Judgment. You know, it's just not going to happen. But it's a game that is incredibly good, in my opinion. It's a game that I really enjoy having chill streams with you guys. Okay? So I hope that you guys will continue to hang out with me and have a good interactive time with me on the stream. Okay? Lost Judgment goodness. Now, later tonight on the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it's going to be the continuation of Hades. In Hades, I'm currently doing a pretty unique build. All right? And this build is a unique spear that makes you very weak because you have low HP, but the spear actually hits for good damage and actually heals you as you hit with it. So you basically have to do a hit and run tactics. You can't really tank it out because you have no health. The first run I tried with the spear didn't go so well. The second run is actually turning out much better. The build seems to be dealing a lot of damage now, which is great. So we're going to see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to beat Hades with it, but at the very least, it's something different and unique. And if it doesn't work out, I'll likely switch up to something else and see if I can clear Hades tonight. Okay? Very nice. So that is tonight. Now, tomorrow, completely different kind of day. Tomorrow, it's going to be the continuation of Kena Bridge of Spirits on the PS5. First of all, it's my first major stream of the game where I'm dedicating 3 to 4 hours of gameplay to it. So this would be good progress. And it's the first time I'll actually be wearing headphones playing the game. People have told me that the sound design in the game is outstanding. And I really haven't been able to experience that simply because I've been playing it at night streams. And since I'm already wearing my headphones all day, I don't want to wear them on night as well and have a risk of ear infection. So I basically have only been having the headphones off. I haven't really had a full experiencing of the sound. So I'm excited to try that out tomorrow and see how it turns out. All right. Now, the other good news is I should make good progress. The game, by all reports, the game is only 8 hours long if you rush through it. If you take your time, it's about 12. I'm currently around 4 hours in. But I definitely have taken my time and tried to find optional items and the like. So after tomorrow, maybe I'll be more than halfway through and then maybe a couple night streams and we'll wrap it up later this week. But I'm excited. I do like the game a lot. The game actually got better since we unlocked the bow. The combat now is a little bit better with different elements in it. So I hope you will join me for that tomorrow on the main gameplay stream. Okay? And then tomorrow night is my weekly late night session of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Excuse me. Where we fly all around the world. By the way, I was never contacted by the anonymous tipper to ask for a place to go. Which kind of sucks, admittedly. Like, I like going places that people ask because they're the top contributor. For some reason, the top contributor didn't ask for something this week. I don't know. So I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But it should still be chill fun. Then on Monday, it's going to be more Deathloop. And if you have not been following the Deathloop playthrough, or maybe you just missed out on yesterday's session, you missed a ton. Yesterday was the most productive session of the game so far. I found out so much on yesterday's session. Seriously, like, I figured out how to kill like 3 or 4 of the targets the right way. Like, how to group them together and do the grouped up killings, which is exactly what you want in the game. The goal of the game is to plot out how to take out these 7 targets in only one day in 4 different daytime segments. And it was like 3 or 4 I determined how to do it. So I'm like, damn, there's only like 1 more I need to figure out and then do the finale party. And then we're done. We can do a full run of the day, killing everyone and beat the game. So depending on how things go, I may actually beat Deathloop on Monday. I guess we'll see what happens. Okay? Usagi Jojo says, I thought the anonymous tipper gave the destination in their tip. They did? I don't remember that, Usagi. Did they? I'll have to go back and rewatch it then. I don't remember that. If you remember, the tipper, the $30 tipper, I had said afterward, okay, thanks for the tip, but please let me know now where you want to go. Email me with the same email address that you tipped me with, and they never did. So, I don't know. I don't remember them saying it in their tip. Unless you're saying they did, maybe I have to go back and watch. Hey, unless you want to go back and let me know, but I could go back and watch myself tomorrow, I guess, try to figure this out. Excuse me. Okay. So Monday, Deathloop, and then the late stream on Monday will be more Kena Bridge of Spirits. Okay? And then Tuesday, Lost Judgment is the main stream, and Hades will be the late stream again. And then on Wednesday, which is my final streaming day of this week, it'll be Deathloop paired with Kena Bridge of Spirits, which is excellent, okay? Now, I will not be here on Thursday, all right? But when I return on Friday, it's going to be the return of Ask the King. Ask the King is my show where I answer your questions, all right? And, excuse me. This is a legacy show, one of the longest running things I've ever done on the internet in the 13 years I've been a content creator. You guys have asked for me to keep doing this show, which is why it still exists, even though I feel that, hey, I answer your questions every day on stream. This is a dedicated podcast-style show where I just sit down and answer your questions at length. Now, there's multiple ways you can submit questions. First of all, if you just type Ask the King, if you type exclamation point Ask the King into the stream chat right now, a link will pop up on which you can post up your questions on my forums. That's the best way to submit questions. If you do that, that will allow me to review those questions ahead of time and pick the best ones, okay? Now, in addition to that, if you're a patron of mine, $20 or more patron, you are guaranteed to have your question answered on the show. 100% guarantee, okay? That's another way that you can get your question answered. If you are a member of my channel, there is a new feature as of this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just did this morning. If you are a channel member, you can get exclusive priority to get your questions answered because I just put up a community post on the front page of this channel on YouTube, DSPGaming, and attached to that community post is a members-only option saying if you're a member, post up your questions for Ask the King here. I will manually approve these questions over the course of the week, and then I will choose the best ones for the show. Okay. Usagi Jojo says they just looked back at the $30 anonymous tipper during Microsoft Flight Sim. Only talked about haptic feedback, so he had misremembered. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, so that being said, guys, I would love to get feedback from the members. You know, I would love to give extra options to people who become channel members here. Currently, the members are getting priority access to nominate games for the Halloween event, and now you guys are getting priority questions for Ask the King. All right? It's a win-win-win for members. So if you're a member, congratulations. Here's another cool new feature you just got. Okay? So, awesome. By the way, I'm now going to open up my door because it is very hot. Here comes the Jasper Kitty. People always say, where's Jasper Kitty? Here he is. I just brought him in. The cat went to work, and now I can open up the door, which I absolutely need to do, because today it's supposed to be, let's actually double check. Let's see the temps. It claims it's going to go up to 75. They keep changing the weather here. They said yesterday it was going to be 79. Now they're saying only 75. But basically there's not a cloud in the sky. It's full sun. And that's fine. You might say 75 is good temperature. You're right for outside. But in my office, it's about 85, 90. Because my office heats up like an oven in the afternoon. So I just opened the door. And now it should be much better in here. Because now there'll be air circulation blowing. I have a window open in the bedroom across the house. And the window open here in the office, and now the fan will blow the air through the office like a wind tunnel pretty much, and cool down the room significantly, so it'll be good now. Thank goodness. But anyway, so let's review. Yes, Ask the King is going to be on the day that I come back from break, which is Friday of next week, October 1st. And please post up your questions by typing exclamation point Ask the King in the chat. That's one way to submit them. If you're a patron, you'll have priority access to get your questions answered for sure on the show. If you're a channel member, you also get priority access by the community post that I just put up this morning that only members here can actually post up on. So many ways to post up your questions, okay? So that Friday, October 1st, will be Ask the King, and then my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session on the late stream. And then over the course of that, next week, it's going to be the continuation of all of the current playthroughs that I'm doing. including Deathloop, which hopefully I'll wrap up by then, Kena Bridge of Spirits, which also hopefully I'll wrap up by then, and Lost Judgment. Now, the good news here is, on October 5th, there's new game releases. We've got Alan Wake Remastered, as well as the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game. So as of the 5th, we're going to have constant new release content. So it's good that I'll be wrapping up these playthroughs sooner rather than later to make room for the new games coming in. Okay? Should be a good time. I'm excited. Excited for the new stuff. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about the Halloween shenanigans, shall we? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. On Halloween this year, I'm going to be doing a gaming marathon. I'm going to be dressed up in a Halloween costume, and I'm going to be playing a variety of games that you guys are going to determine. Okay, right now, there's multiple ways for you to nominate games for this upcoming Halloween event. You can type !Halloween into the stream chat. That'll bring up the link by which you can do that. Okay? Or, if you're a channel member, again, more priority access for channel members, you can nominate games by going to my channel page, and there's a community post there as well, just for members, where you can manually nominate games. In fact, since I'm talking about all this, why not take a moment to take a look and see if there are any new comments that I need to approve this morning and any new games that have been nominated. Let's see here. Well, actually, wow, way more people than I anticipated have already posted up questions for Ask the King. Wow. Well, this is cool. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. This is excellent. Okay. But nothing, okay, no new nominations yet. No new nominations yet, but there were some people who posted up for Ask the King, which is excellent. I'm pleased that people are posting up for Ask the King on the members only post. Excellent, cool. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, yes, there's a members only post for the Halloween stuff as well. Now, we did hit a tier 2 membership goal here on the stream, which thank you guys so much for all of your support over September. It was really awesome of you. That means you guys are going to get to vote on a category of Halloween costume, all right, that I will be wearing on the Halloween event. However, I just have not had any opportunity to go around town and look at the Halloween costumes. I've been too busy, and sadly, yesterday, I didn't even get really a day off because of behind-the-scenes bullshit that I was dealing with, so I didn't get an opportunity to go out there and do anything. I am hoping that this week coming up on Thursday, I will have a normal day off. I will actually be able to go out and do the things that I want to do. Okay? So, if that's the case, I'll be going to Halloween stores in the area, not only to purchase some decorations for the office for this October, but also to look at the Halloween costumes that are available and to narrow it down to the categories that I feel make sense. Usually the categories are things like comic book character, video game character, pop culture icon, Hollywood movie monster, and stuff like that. But let's see. I don't want to jump the gun. I want to see what's out there this year before I make these categories, and the next thing I know, there's no good costumes for them, and I have no options. I want to see what's there and basically pick like 3-4 categories, and then you guys will be able to vote on the category you want to see as the Halloween costume, okay? So that'll be coming, okay? So a lot of Halloween festivities, by the way, as of October 1st, which will be this Friday. Yes, there will be new Halloween-themed animations on the stream. There will be, the overlay is going to change to orange for the month of October. And like I said, there will be decorations behind me for October as well, Halloween theme. So all kinds of fun holiday stuff starting on Friday, okay? Sound good? Okay. All right, guys. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I really want to mention at this point before I start doing shout-outs and the like? I'm trying to think. Is anything that's important or anything, you know, like I said, the drama's taken care of. We talked about it yesterday. That's done. So moving on from that and looking forward to all the new games and stuff coming out. I'm just trying to think if there's anything. Who is, oh, Mordegon? Is it Mordegon from Dragon Quest? Anching Forever says, would you dress up as Mordegon on Halloween? Maybe, I don't know. Eternal Napalm says, it seems night streams lag when it comes to contributions. That's actually not true. Actually, Eternal Napalm, it's not true at all. I would argue it's kind of game specific or just audience specific, because last night, for example, the Street Fighter stream did better than the Deathloop stream. Yeah, more people came out and contributed and supported the late stream than they did the first stream. It's true. And I think it's because people like to see me play Street Fighter once a week. They line up to see that. They like to see the old school Street Fighter gameplay from me, as opposed to, this is just another Deathloop stream. It's hilarious to me because Deathloop is good, don't get me wrong. But okay, I will talk about this because I want to mention it. This is one of the topics I do want to talk about briefly on the pre-stream today, so we'll get it out of the way. Deathloop is a good game. Now that I'm not, like 12 hours in and we're almost at the end of Deathloop, I can now make a established judgment on it, okay? Deathloop is a good game. It has a cool gameplay loop. It's interesting to how the plot unfolds over the course of the game, going through the days and unlocking new parts of the mystery of what's going on this island and everything. And I do like the way that it works with the roguelike mechanics where, oh, you earn a new ability, now you use your points you earned that run to unlock that ability permanently so you never lose it. I like that. It's definitely interesting. It has a lot of similarities to other roguelikes, but at the same time, it feels unique because it's a first-person shooter. So I do like it. But the game 100% feels like a re-spin-off of Dishonored. The abilities are the abilities from Dishonored, like not even different. The teleport, the Nexus ability, they were already in Dishonored. They're the same abilities reused. The gameplay feels like you're playing Dishonored, except that there's a lot of guns. In Dishonored, it was mostly melee combat and or some projectiles you would throw. In this case, you're using guns, but it's almost identical. It really feels like you're playing a new version of Dishonored. It does. That's okay if you liked Dishonored, and I did. So personally, I'm enjoying the game. But when I'm reading reviews that are saying, this game is completely unique, this game is so original, 10 out of 10, I'm like, did you ever play fucking video games before? It's not original at all. It's roguelike mechanics with Dishonored. It's fine, it's good, I like it, but that's not 10 out of 10 game of the year. And by the way, the game has a lot of bugs. I've found numerous bugs. Enemies endlessly falling for no reason. Things blowing up around me when nothing's near me to make them blow up. You know, like there was yesterday, I'm just walking, there's an explosive canister and it just blew up for no reason. There was no one there. It just blew up spontaneously and killed me, and now I lost one of my lives. You know, the game has a lot of glitches. Sorry, it's not perfect. Anyone who gave this game 10 out of 10, it's ridiculous. It really is. It's like, it's ridiculously out of control in my opinion. That people are reviewing the game so highly. I don't know why they did. Like, I really would like to know, because if you actually look at the history of reviews, they never really said Dishonored was 10 out of 10. Never did these gaming media outlets review Dishonored or Dishonored 2 as 10 out of 10. So I don't know what possessed them to say Deathloop is 10 out of 10, and all of them together did so. It just doesn't make sense to me. How is there a consensus only among the mainstream gaming media that this game is perfect, when obviously anyone who's played it can agree it's not? By the way, again, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I like it. I do. I'm enjoying it. It's not a perfect game. It might very well make my Game of the Year awards countdown. It's pretty good. But it's not fucking perfect. I don't know how anyone could even say that. Anyway, that's my take on Deathloop so far. We're probably going to beat it on Monday or maybe later in the week. We'll see. Anyway. Okay, very quickly, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm an independent content creator. What that means is that I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships at all. I'm just doing my own thing here and putting out the content that's honest, that's transparent, and that you know when you're watching me play a game, you're getting my honest reactions and opinions on that game every single moment. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to kiss anyone's butt. So because of that, when you watch my content, you know you're getting my real take at every waking moment that I'm playing a game. And that's a pretty rare thing these days, because most people who are making a living being content creators have to kiss butt because they have to get these sponsorships and the like, and I don't do that, okay? Why? Because you guys crowdfund me. You guys allow me to make a living doing this and being transparent with games, all right? And I really, really appreciate that. I'm no selected golden boy. No one's ever going to highlight me as a content creator. No one's ever gonna say, oh, here's a guy who's a brand ambassador. But instead, I get to be the real me on every stream. And I really appreciate that. For 13 years, you guys have watched the content and supported it and allowed me to do that. Okay? So all that being said, if you like the fact that I am truly independent, if you like the fact that I am different, and you want to support that effort to keep it going because you really enjoy this style of content, please support it in one of the following methods. We've already talked about channel memberships. You guys know how important they are. Some of the other benefits you get from being a channel member outside of these highlighted nominations. You get a highlighted name in chat. You get all of my emotes, 20 total. And right now when we hit 300 members, we'll actually unlock another one, I believe. You don't have to abide by slow mode rules in the chat. And you get a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. I actually believe next month, some people will actually be getting a new crown in the chat, which will be pretty awesome, right? Pretty cool, right? All right, so that's good. That's good. Also, you can do a super chat or a super sticker. If you do those are ways you can contribute through YouTube itself, and it highlights your message in the stream chat. Jasper is currently licking my big toe. I don't know why. He's such a nut. And by the way, if you contribute in any of these methods, I'm going to do my best to give you guys a shout out, because I appreciate the fact that people crowdfund me and allow me to do what I love for a living. I personally go out of my way to make sure that those who contribute get shout outs for, you know, for, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a brain fart. I want to make sure that you guys get your due, and that you know how thankful I am for your contributions. But what's the word? I don't know. I'm having a brain fart. Let's just move on. So yes, I will do my best as long as you are abiding by the channel rules and you're not saying anything that's drama-infused or derailing or insulting. As long as you're having a good time and you want to send a positive message, if you contribute, I will give you a shout-out to say thank you so very much. Okay? Sound good? Now, the best way to contribute is by tipping me. Why? There's two reasons why tips are the best way to contribute. First of all, when you tip me, I get it immediately. That's a tip that I could put towards something important like a bill, the cost of a game, or whatever it might be behind the scenes. That's why tips are so important. But in addition to that, okay, tips are the method by which I get the most out of your contributions. Meaning, out of all the ways that people contribute, there's always someone who takes a cut, whether it be YouTube or the PayPal processor or whatever. But if you tip me, I get more of what you're contributing, you see? So I appreciate tips. I know not everyone can do them, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I appreciate memberships. That's why I appreciate the super chats. They all help. Memberships and super chats help long term, while the tips help short term. Okay? Now, all that being said, because the tips are so important, we have reward goals in effect. If we raise $50 of tips today, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 of tips, I'll put on a hat. The hats eligible are the digital, the camo, and the fake hair hat. Why? Because I wear my headphones during the main gameplay streams. Today, I want to wear my headphones for Lost Judgment. All right, this will not be an issue come mid-October when I get a new set of headphones that are worn around the neck. But for now, when I'm wearing headphones, I got to wear the hats that limit to headphone use, okay? Hold on. Excuse me, I'm drinking seltzer. I get a little gassy. If we raise the full tips goal today of $150, I'll put on a vest of your choice, and all of the best vests are eligible, including the red, the platinum, the denim, and the gold. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, we have not seen a vest in many days. I'm remembering correctly. I think the last time might have been, I could be wrong, but I think it was Sunday night for the Flight Sim stream. So it's been almost a whole week. It would be great if we could hit the tips goal today. It would help me a lot, and I would appreciate it. Obviously, I'm not asking for anyone to go beyond their means, and I'm not asking for anyone to go crazy. But if you like the content, if you've enjoyed the fact that I'm going to be playing Lost Judgment at length, enjoying it, and having a great long playthrough over the next few months, I hope you guys could support that. Okay? Okay. Now, let's do some shout-outs. Let's start off with the YouTube side shout-outs, okay? So, we start off with a leaderboard that's not updated. So let me refresh it here. Rebel did the first super chat of the day. He says, "What's good, Big Phil? I'm stopping by to send some good vibes. Don't get lost in the judgment. Have a good one." Thank you very much, Rebel. Mario Brothers did a super chat. He says, "I'm really enjoying the Lost Judgment and Kena Bridge of Spirits playthroughs. I need more of a good audience for those contenders, in my opinion." If what you're saying is you think that there should be a bigger audience for these games, here's the deal. I agree with you. It would be nice if we could get more of a mainstream audience for games like this, but I don't think we will. These are certainly not the big AAA games that everyone's waiting for. You know what I mean? In fact, honestly, if you look at the game release schedule, all right, for the next couple of months, honestly, I don't even know what would be considered a giant AAA game. Let me go through the list real quick, okay? Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, the Alan Wake Remaster, Super Monkey Ball Collection, Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread, Back 4 Blood, the Dark Pictures Anthology House of Ashes, Guardians of the Galaxy, Call of Duty Vanguard, Forza Horizon 5, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Battlefield 2042, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the Advance Wars Collection, and Halo Infinite. And that takes us essentially through early December. Out of all those games, honestly, can you look at one and say, oh, that's the big AAA release coming out? Honestly, no. I feel like this hardcore gaming season is going to be busy, don't get me wrong, but is there a single game there that feels like, oh my god, blockbuster blowing your pants off? Not really. The previous years, there usually are big release, whether it's the big Assassin's Creed game, you know, a giant release like a God of War or something like that. It just seems to me like the giant games that people would have gotten ultra hyped for all got pushed into next year, right? Dabhan says maybe Far Cry 6 is the closest. I guess I agree with you there. But at the same time, a lot of people are turned off by Far Cry, feeling it's the same game over and over. It's the same formula, you know? So for me, I'm kind of like, I'm wondering what's supposed to be the big game. I don't even know if there are. The big games next year, you got Elden Ring right out of the gate. You got the new Horizon Forbidden West, right? You got new fighting games with games like King of Fighters. I think within like from February to like April, I think there's like 10 major high profile releases that all got delayed and are now coming out within a small period of time. So for me, looking at all those games, like, listen, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. Some of those games I just mentioned, I'm personally excited for. But I'm not feeling the giant AAA vibe that we usually get around this time of year. I'm just not feeling it. I feel like what you're going to have is games that, yes, they will retain an audience for a smaller group of people. I don't see any of these games bringing giant views. Like, for example, do you want to know the one big game this year? Resident Evil 8. Like, that was it for me. Like, I feel like that was the ginormous AAA game this year that blew everyone away and everyone was excited for, and everything else was pretty much underwhelming or just the big ones got delayed, right? That's my feeling. Maybe you disagree with me, but I just didn't feel, I felt like 2021 was the dud year because COVID ruined everything, and now all the good stuff's getting pushed, you know? So I'm okay with that because there's enough gameplay there, there's enough gaming there to hold us over and have a good time. I'm not expecting mainstream droves of people to flood into my channel out of nowhere to watch a new release with any of these games, though. Just being honest. Okay? See? Great Fox RJ says, well, Metroid's huge. You're right. Metroid's huge. However, for some reason, my audience doesn't like Metroidvania games. Every single time I've tried to play a Metroidvania game within 2 streams, people say it's boring and don't want to watch it anymore. Right? Absolutely ridiculous. So, oh, man. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Mario Brothers. Now we have 2 renewed memberships. One is from a serious contender who says, hello, Phil, hello. Or it says, hail, Phil, actually. And then Gray Fox RJ also renewed their membership and said, what about more fighting games on Friday nights? I've already answered this question. I'll briefly answer it again. There wouldn't be any fighting games I could play on Friday nights. If there was a new fighting game that had come out, okay, a brand new one, and I was covering it, yes, then I would consider maybe having it added into the rotation. I would play through the story mode. I would do some online play with the characters, go through the labs, etc., and have a good time covering it as a new release. And then eventually it would probably die out and I wouldn't really care about it much anymore. The reason that I only play old school Street Fighter on Friday nights is because, number one, those games I absolutely crave playing. Those are the games I grew up playing in arcades. I guess the exception is Alpha 3. I played more Alpha 2 than Alpha 3. But Third Strike as well as Super Turbo, I love those games. I played them in arcades at length, and I know a lot about them, okay? The fighting games I know the most about and can play at the highest capacity, I feel, okay? I crave playing them because I grew up playing them in arcades and then in tournaments in the 2000s. I crave playing them all the time. And so playing them once a week gives me that nostalgic vibe like I'm back in arcades or at a tournament playing against random opponents and having a good time with them, okay? But The thing is, that's why I play them. Even though the collection kind of sucks and the online plays, laggy and shitty, that's why I play them. All right? In order to play another fighting game, you have to understand something. It's not as easy as saying, oh, just play it once a week. That's not how it works. To actually get good at a fighting game, you have to dedicate a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of knowledge. You have to actually commit yourself to learning matchups, learning timing and priorities and things. And listen, when a game is new, the first few weeks or month the game is out, I'll do that. But once the game starts reaching its meta, meaning its high-end gameplay level, where everyone now is learning the best strategies and the best gameplay mechanics with these characters, people who have stuck with those games from launch are always going to have a crazy advantage over those who are kind of jumping in the middle. Right now, if I were to play Tekken, I would lose every match. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I would likely lose almost every match. I would have to play it a lot to get to a level of knowledge where I'd be able to hang with people. You understand that? I'm going to play once a week. I'm going to play Tekken 7 on a Friday night. I might as well not play it at all. It's a waste of time. I won't have any fun, and I won't learn anything that way. The way to learn a game is to play it a lot, not play it once a week for 2 hours. That's not how it works. The reason I'm able to play old school Street Fighter for once a week for 2 hours and it works is because I have the prerequisite knowledge to play those games because I used to play them so much back in the day. I can't play a modern fighting game for 2 hours a week and expect that I'm going to get anywhere with it or I'm going to get any enjoyment out of it. So there's no point. There's absolutely no point. If I was going to say, okay, I'm going to play Tekken 7 3 times a week on night streams for 2 hours, that's different. Now I'm playing it enough I could probably learn. But there's no point in doing it once a week. And by the way, I can't commit to playing any random fighting game 3 times a week. I'm too busy with everything else being a variety streamer. You see? I try to tell you guys this, but people still seem to bring it up from time to time, and I just try to answer as matter-of-factly as I can. I hope that makes sense to you. If ever there is a fighting game that comes out that really gets my interest, and I want to play it at length, I will. All right? To some extent, I would argue Tekken 7 did hold my interest for a while, but then I moved on, and, that's kind of the story. Is there hasn't been a modern fighting game that really has held my interest at length. I mean, even back to Street Fighter 4 10 years ago, I liked every version. Well, I liked Vanilla Street Fighter 4. I played it a ton. Then they came out with the updates, and every update, I would basically get burnt out within like a month or two and not really care that much anymore. That's just how it was. None of these games have really, blown me away like the old ones do. So, maybe that will change. But for now, no, I don't have plans to do that. Okay? All right. Now, hold on. There's actually another super chat that came in from Snow Larry. Snow Larry says, what's your most anticipated game? I would argue there's 3 that are the most anticipated for me. Elden Ring in January, and then Horizon Zero Dawn in, I believe, February. Not Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West in February. And then whenever the hell God of War is coming out. Like, those are the big 3 for me that I'm really excited for. Excuse me. But outside of those, like, there are other games that are coming up that I'm interested in, but I'm not like, oh my god, crazy anticipation or anything like that. So, all right, let's swing to tips. We got Snow Carl with the first tip of the day. $1.50 says, now that you and Kat have been married and lived together for a long time, what would you say are her top 5 recipes? I always hear you talk about her cooking and how good it is. I'd love to hear you rank the top 5. Man, that's a good question. That's a very good question, because even between us, we tend to forget her recipes, which is crazy. I don't know why we forget them, but she'll make something good that we'll really like, and then we'll forget about it for a while. Like, let me just think. Well, her personal favorite is her baked chicken. She takes chicken thighs, and she actually puts a breading coating that she makes. It's a mixture of herbs and spices with breadcrumbs. I like it. I don't think it's my favorite thing. It's her favorite. So that's her personal favorite. Some of the things she's made that have blown me away with how good they are. Chili. I've never had homemade chili before, and the homemade chili she makes is so effing good that, like, when she makes it, we put cornbread in it and stuff. It's like, oh my god. And by the way, she doesn't always do beef chili. We done turkey chili, and that shit is crazy fucking good. Seriously. Curry. She's made homemade Japanese style curry with lean pork, potatoes, onions, and other things. Oh my god. And her beef bowl. The beef bowl she makes. So what we do is we get shredded beef, okay? And she fries that up with onions, but also you put things in like mirin, sake, and you fry it up with eggs, okay? Fried eggs. And then You put it over a bed of rice. Oh my God, the beef bowl. Dude, absolutely 100% beef bowl is one of my favorite things she makes. Let me think. Oh, some of the bakes that she makes are pretty unique. Like, for example, she has these different tuna casserole recipes that she's tried. I never had a homemade tuna casserole before. Swear to God, my mom, back in the day, never made tuna casserole at home. And I certainly never made it myself. So when Kat started making tuna casserole, I was like, dude, I love tuna. This is fucking really good. And she's made various versions. Usually whatever she makes always has peas, which I like. So I would say that. She also makes tons of different Mexican dishes. She's made like Mexican bake. She's made enchiladas that are really, really good. This is all off the top of my head, by the way. This is, this is just me trying to think up some of the things that she's done that's really, really good. In fact, just this last week, oh, what was it? See, I always have a brain fart about it because she's the one who does it. So this last week, I was like, oh, there's something we haven't done in a long time. Oh, she makes gumbo is really good. So she makes this roux, which I don't even know what goes into it. I think it's a beef broth base, but it has a bunch of other seasonings in it. And then she tosses in sausage, and she tosses in shrimp, and all this stuff. And then you have that. Oh. Oh. And that's just off the top of my head. She's made a lot more than that. But she's a good cook. I think what it is when she moved in with me, she wanted to try new stuff. She was like, this is a new life together. And she started trying recipes off the internet and tried to find ones that would stick. And not everyone always works. Sometimes the recipe doesn't work or ends up, not being as good as it sounds. But she, for the most part, I'd argue, way more hits than misses. And the meals she makes are outstanding. Seriously. And it's all good stuff, man. It is. Like, you know what I mean? It's all amazing stuff. She's made other stuff, too, that I like more, but she did. Like, for example, one time she made this cheeseburger casserole. And what it was beef. I bought Angus beef for it at that time because I wanted to make it, like, kick it up a notch. So it was, like, beef with cheese, but also I guess you actually did put in a little bit of ketchup and mustard and relish and stuff. I thought it was great. And she was like, I don't like this. I was like, oh, shit, I loved it. I want more of it. But she didn't like it. I'm like, fuck. Well, it is what it is. Not everyone has the same tastes, right? So there you go. I wonder if Snowcrawl thought I was not going to be able to answer the question or something. No, she makes great food. She absolutely makes great food. Okay, let me get down the leaderboard. I could keep going, but I think that we have a stream to get to. Ian Chang Forever is here today. Tipped $1.50 and said, today on Dragon Quest XI, there's no bosses, but there's a lot of cutscenes. I now can go to fight against the final boss, Kalasmos, but I'm going to farm Berserker Blade, one of the strongest greatswords in the game, and increase the XP first. There you go. If I remember correctly, what happens in the second half of Dragon Quest XI is very different than the first, because the second half of the game is open world. And if I remember correctly, you can go to all these different places, and different things occur. So, for example, not to spoil, but if you remember the Ice Kingdom, if you explore around the Ice Kingdom, there's now new stuff that wasn't there in the first half of the game, including a crazy optional super boss that kicked my ass. And I had to grind a ton to go back and fight that guy and beat him. So, yeah, there you go. Snowcarl tipped another $1.50. He says, I think you've done well to curtail the drama recently and create a wholesome atmosphere in your chat. Do you think you'll need to clamp down on anonymous tipping? Because it seems to be the main focal point of drama and trolling. No, because the thing is, I can control it. Like, an anonymous tip comes in, I don't have to read it, And it's funny because it's absolutely true that people feel, oh, I threw Phil $1. Now, because of that, I'm entitled to him derailing his entire stream to address my dollar tip. Wrong. Let me make something upfront and clear to everyone. When you tip a content creator, there is no contract between you and the content creator. You're saying, here's $1 as a tip because I like your content. Take it and do whatever you want. That's the truth of the matter, okay? There's no contract that says, oh, because I tipped you, now I'm owed a shout out, I'm owed a whole segment on the show where you address my concerns and yada, yada, yada. No. Absolutely not. Never have that ever happened, okay? So please understand that that's the case, because there are idiots who come in here, they'll tip $1, and then I don't derail my stream with their drama, and then I'm going to charge that back, and they lose every time. They lose every fucking time, because there's nothing there, okay? So Carl is elaborating, he says, I mean under pseudonyms, people tipping and saying everyone is OIC. Oh, that's just stupidity. That is just stupidity. I mean it now. I'm not going to go too far into it, because again, this is derailing, but these idiots will say whatever they want to try to prove their own agenda with zero evidence. They've been saying that Only Iced Coffee is like my sole contributor for like a year. They've been, oh yeah, Only Iced Coffee, he's the one who's doing every tip behind the scenes. He's the one who's doing every tip in a name that we don't recognize. Wrong. In fact, I will tell you this. 100% of those people are not Only Iced Coffee. I'm just being honest. You know, these people are idiots. Who are saying this nonsense. Again, it's their own narrative they want to create. And they can say whatever they want. It's just not true. Only Iced Coffee is not all of these people at all. It's what it is. It's a group of people, a large group of people who like my content. They're now, because they've seen the actions of these fucked up people on the internet and seen that they try to dox people and mess with people, so they're purposely doing this to hide their identity. This is why the trolls are so angry, because now they can't get to these people because they're doing things anonymously, and so, oh, I can't harass them anymore? No, you can't, because they're doing it smart. They're doing the right thing. They're not putting their identity out there in their contributions, you see? So that's why this is happening, and it has nothing to do with OIC at all. He's not involved in it whatsoever. These are just idiotic people who don't want to believe that there's actually people who like my content because they're dickheads. Snowstar, Timmy $1.50 said I was banned on Bammy. Snowstar, it was a complete accident yesterday. One of the moderators misclicked. They were trying to actually time out someone else, and they accidentally banned you. And they immediately said to me, oh shit, I did that by accident, but I couldn't bring up your YouTube channel to unban you. So Snowstar, if you email me your YouTube channel, I'll link to it, I can unban you. It was 100% an accident. It was a simple misclick. And it threw Snowstar into the fucking lava. That sucks. It really sucked. It was a complete accident by one of the new moderators. And they apologized for it, and you weren't here because, you know, you were banned by accident. But it was 100% not intentional. So, again, if you could send me your YouTube channel, I will get you unbanned today. Okay? It might not be right away, but you will be unbanned. It was not, you didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for now. Let's take a break. I'm going to use the bathroom. And when we come back, it's the continuation of Lost Judgment. What I'm hoping is that we can finish up with this plot line. We're in the high school and move on to other stuff. Because, man, we've been in the high school for like 4 hours. Like, geez, can we please leave the high school and at least do something else? Ooh, excuse me. So, thank you guys. And I'll see you in just a few minutes. I recommend you take this opportunity, grab a drink or a snack for yourselves. Use the restroom yourselves. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll start up with Lost Judgment. Thanks. See you in a bit. All right.